Hey y'all, what's going on? This is Jesse Both from the 19th hole. It is January 2nd, 2019. It is Wednesday, and it's time to announce the first official tournament of the year. We've got the Winter Slopes Tournament. I know some of you all have looked in your clan settings, and you can see the upcoming symbol, so we knew it was going to be something to do with like ski slopes types of stuff. This tournament is going to start on Monday, January 7th, so you have a little bit of time to get ready for it, and hopefully with the information I provide you in this video, it will help you be able to prepare and get out there and practice the holes and know what holes to look for in the practice and on tour. So let's go ahead and get started. As always, we give kind of like a brief rundown for each tournament. You got 4 different divisions: Rookie, Pro, Expert, and Masters. In the rookie level, you get Tour 3 chess. In the Pro, you get Tour 6. In Expert, you get Tour 9 chess. And in Masters, you get Tour 12 chess when you do win any type of match inside of the tournament. So qualifying, opening round, weekend round, any of those wins on any hole produces those chess for you as a prize for that individual win. And the chests that you receive in tournaments are better than the chests you receive on tour when it comes to club cards and everything like that, like the amount of cards. So as from what it looks like, the prizes for the new year have not changed. From what I can tell, they all look like they have stayed same. And we can also see this is not a major tournament because the banners are not the special banners. So nothing quite different there as far as the divisions and the prizes go. So let's move on to the particular rules for each division. Rookie rules look the same. Front tee, 3 to 6 miles per hour and +6 needle increase. Pro level, you play from the middle tee, which is the second tee. Winds 7 to 10 miles per hour and 15% needle increase. So that means your needle speed will be 15% quicker than what you would normally be used to. Expert level, middle tee, 11 to 14 mile per hour wind, 30% needle speed increase, and hidden spin is on. And what that means is that you will not be able to see your opponent's spin guide or ball guide. So you won't be able to see what spin adjustments your opponent makes, and you won't be able to see the direction of their ball guide when you get around the green and stuff like that. Master level is the third tee. Winds 16 to 19 miles per hour. Needle speed is 50% on that one. And also the hidden spin is on. So if you're expert or masters, higher needle speeds and hidden spin is on. If you're in the rookie and the pro, the hidden spin will not be activated, so you will be able to see your opponent's spins and ball guides around the green. So next up, let's take a look at the course for the Winter Slopes Tournament. It looks like this is going to be a course composed of 2 different courses. We have Greenock Point and Vineyard Acres. So basically what they did is they took 4 holes from one, 5 holes from the other, combined it together to get the Winter Slopes Tournament. And we will actually go a little bit more in depth into what these holes look like here in just a moment. Since they are older holes, we do have access to the actual images of them this early in the week. So let's go ahead and tell you where you can play these courses real quickly. Greenock Point, you can find those holes on tours 5, 9, and 12. And for Vineyard Acres, they will only be available on tour 8. So if you're in the rookie, you can practice the rookie holes on holes 5. If you're in the pro or expert, you can practice all of the holes, tours 8 and tours 9. And if you're in masters, you can practice the Greenock Point on tour 12. So I will go into a little bit more depth on what hole is what course for you here in just a moment. All right, so here we go. We're starting off with hole number 1, and this is a par 3. This is a Greenock Point course, and you can find this you can find this hole on as Greenock Point hole number 5 on tour. 5, 9, or 12. Okay, so look for hole number 5 on 5, 9, or 12 for your tours. The best way to play this hole is about 2-3 bars of topspin, and some people play it with a little left spin. Some people play with more left spin. Basically, the general idea of this hole is to take your shot up here. You'll bounce somewhere in this zone right here, and you roll it along the top of that ridge down towards the green. You want to try to stay as close to the top of that ridge as possible to ensure that better roll to the hole for the possible ace. Hole number 2 is also Greenock Point. This is a par 4, and in tour this will be actually hole number 8 of the Greenock Point course. So hole 2 in the tournament, but hole 8 on tour. And once again, Greenock Point is tours 5, 9, and 12. So the best way to play this hole, I think, is I like to play, you can play with a quarterback, extra mile, apocalypse. You need something with a good amount of topspin. If you got a tailwind, you need at least 4 bars of topspin. If you have a side wind, you're going to use more than 4 bars of topspin. Basically, you're bouncing your shot somewhere in here. You're trying to land it in the rough and then get the roll out to the green for hopefully a very easy eagle. This will definitely be a must eagle hole in the tournament, so definitely want to figure out how is best for you to play this hole and get the eagle. And we'll definitely go into more detail about these holes for the actual guide later in the week. And there are other ways to play these holes as well. So our next hole here is hole number 3, and you will find this one on the Greenock Point courses. And when you're looking in tour, this will actually be hole number 6 of the Greenock Point. This is definitely a tough hole. Downhill shot off the tee box is definitely a must adjustment. You got to adjust for the downhill shot, and you want a ball with side spin and top spin, because you're basically going to be landing your shot somewhere in here. And with that top spin and right curl in some instances, depending on the wind, you'll be bouncing it over this way and just try to roll it out into that zone right there. From there, if you're playing in the rookie, you're going to be using most likely a big dog for your second shot. And if you're playing in the pro or the expert, you'll be using a sniper or a guardian for your second shot to the green, bouncing it somewhere over in this zone and trying to pop it right there and roll it to the hole. That's how you'll play that shot and this hole for the tournament. All right, next hole is hole number 4. This is a par 3, and this is actually a Vineyard Acres hole, so this will only be findable on Tour 8 for expert and pro. The way you will play this hole, though, is, for the rookies, you're probably going to be using the Viper, and for the pro and expert, you'll probably be using a sniper or a guardian, and that may change depending on the type of wind that you get in the rookie. So we'll just have to kind of wait and see what kind of wind you get in the rookie. But the general idea for this hole is to bounce your shot somewhere in this zone right here, using some side spin to straighten out your ball guide. It is kind of a sloped area right there where your landing zone is, so you want to use the least amount of spins possible to get your shot to the hole. But you do want to use some side spins to kind of straighten out that ball guide initially on that shot. So, once again, this is hole number 4 on the tournament. But if you're playing this in Tour 8, you'll be looking for Vineyard Acres hole number 6. This is hole 6 of Vineyard Acres. All right, next hole. Hole number 5. This is hole number 5 for the tournament. This is also a Vineyard Acres hole. This will be hole number 4 in Vineyard Acres. Tour 8, once again, if you're trying to find it in tour. Basically, you'll see a lot of people who will just take their drive and try to bounce it right there. and try to roll it out this way. That's going to be the most common way that people play this shot. I like to play more of a power curl shot. In rookie, you use the quarterback. In pro expert, you can use any of those upper level clubs, Extra Mile, Thor, Apocalypse. And basically what you do is you bend it around the corner here, you land it about there, and then you roll it out that way. You get a little bit more roll playing it that way than you would with the normal shot where you just top it over the water. And that was definitely a shot I played in the last tournament, and I'll go into more detail on that shot and some other general ways to play this hole later on in the week in the guide. Moving on, we've got hole number 6, another Vineyard Acres hole, and this is a hole that we've had just recently. We had this very recently, in fact. If you're trying to find this one in the Vineyard Acres, this is Vineyard Acres 2 on tour, and this is a par 4. Basically, it's a very simple, straightforward hole. You land your shot here, you try to roll your tee shot up to this zone up there, and then from there you either have a Viper if you're playing in the rookie, most likely a Sniper or a Guardian. If you're playing in the pro or the expert, you'll take your shot somewhere to this area here, and using some backspin, you'll try to figure out that shot to try to get that eagle. Definitely a tough eagle hole. Most people will be getting the birdie here. All right, next hole we have is hole number 7. This is another Vineyard Acres hole, and you can find this one as Vineyard Acres 1 on tour. Once again, Tour 8, Vineyard Acres, hole number 1 on Tour 8. For this shot right here, you will be playing in the rookie, Backbone or Goliath. Really kind of depends on the wind that we see. And then in the pro expert, Sniper or Guardian, your shots will be landing somewhere in this zone right here. Basically what you're just trying to do is that first hop just over that bunker and rough, land it right there on the ridge, and you're trying to roll it to the pin that way. It's a very finessey type of shot, so hopefully we can get the proper adjustment for this and help you all get the ace. I have a feeling on some of these holes they will be making some changes to the greens, since they are holes that we have seen so recently. I would definitely expect some course changes to the slopes on these fairways and greens. We'll have to wait and see what they come out with for the tournament. All right, our next hole here is hole number 8, and this is a Greenock Point hole, so you can find this hole on tours 5, 9, and 12. And if you're looking for it on tour, this is actually hole number 2 of a Greenock Point. So on tour, you're looking for hole 2 of the Greenock Point. Hole 8 in tournament, hole 2 on the course, on the tour. Par 4. This is the hole right here where you're going to be aiming your general tee shot from this area right here, depending on the division you play. In rookie, you could use a big topper, Extra Mile, and you'll be using 4 to 5 bars of top spin. Side spin may depend on the wind that we get, but general consensus is you take your shot up here and you'll bounce in it. You try to land it in the rough and then use the top spin to roll out to the green. Possible hole-in-one hole right here. Possible hole-in-one hole. Another hole that I believe is a must eagle. People that are winning golds and silvers and bronzes will probably be eagling this on the front and the back 9 in tournament. But again, that may depend on the wind that we get. I think I remember correctly. Last tournament, I can't remember if it was pro or expert, we had like a crazy side headwind, and there was no way to take that shot. So we had to play the shot out over here instead and try to make the chip in from that section, which is definitely a possibility, something they may do again. So big topper, Extra Mile in the rookie, in the pro and the expert, pending the wind. You can use a Extra Mile, 7, 8, Thor, Apocalypse, and you'll probably want to use a decent power 4 ball, power 3 ball at least, at minimum on this hole for those shots. All right, hole number 9. This is our last and final hole, and this is a Vineyard Acres hole, par 5. So if you want to play this one, you can find it on Tour 8, and it would actually be Vineyard Acres hole 5 on tour. So if you're trying to find it, look for Vineyard Acres hole 5 on tour. And this hole right here is a hole where you need to bring the big boy for your second shot. So you need a big dog, Cataclysm, depending on what level your Cataclysm is. Basically off the tee box, you're wanting to try to get your ball somewhere in this vicinity right here on your drive. Hopefully we have a wind where we can go over that bunker and get there. If we don't, you may be looking at more of a shot where you've got to land it in this zone and maybe getting into this area right here. So we'll have to wait and see what kind of wind we get and how we can play this hole for the tournament. And once again, I'll go into more detail on the guides for these holes. But then from there, hopefully you're able to get to the farthest extent area over here. And from there, you'll be using your big dog to bounce it over this way, using backspin to land it just on that little rough area right there and roll it onto the green. And that's going to be your best bet at getting the eagle on this hole. If you play short, you may have to lay up your shot in this zone right here for a possible thorn shot or maybe a dunk. If you have lower winds to get the eagle, you'll see a lot of people getting birdies on this hole. So that's just how it might be. And as always, a lot of these shots really depend on the kind of wind that we get for the tournament. So it's really, there's no way to know exactly what shot will work best until Monday rolls along and we see what kind of winds we have for each specific division. So thank you all very much. Quick tournament info video here for you all. Hopefully you all enjoy it. Keep your eyes open. We'll be releasing Rookie Guide and Pro Expert Guide later in the week. So we'll definitely go more in depth, in detail on particular balls and clubs and different routes to use on each hole, pending different winds. So definitely keep your eyes open for that. If you haven't done so yet, hit that subscription button for my YouTube channel and make sure to set the notifications correctly so that you do get notified when I release new videos and also when I do go live for live streams during tournament week. Where I do release rookie and pro playthrough videos, and I do stream live my my expert rounds quite often as well. So thank you all very much, and hopefully you all have a good day, and Happy New Year's to everybody. God bless.